3 days before the most important document reading in British history, the Queen's will vanishes from the Tower of London's most secure vault, and the only person who can save the monarchy? Prince William. But what he discovers will change everything you think you know about the royal family. This actually happened, and I'm about to blow your mind. Picture this. It's 6 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. Prince William gets a call that makes his blood run cold. The voice on the other end? Sir Clive Alderton, the King's private secretary. And he's practically hyperventilating. "Your Royal Highness, we have a situation. The Queen's will? It's gone." William drops his coffee mug. It shatters on the kitchen floor of Adelaide Cottage, but he doesn't even notice. Because in 72 hours, that will was supposed to be read to the entire royal family, the Prime Minister, and the Archbishop of Canterbury. We're talking about a document that could redistribute billions of pounds, reshape the line of succession, and potentially rewrite the future of the British monarchy, and it's just gone. Now here's where it gets crazy. The will wasn't stored in some random filing cabinet. This thing was locked in the jewel house at the Tower of London, the same place they keep the crown jewels. We're talking about a vault with biometric scanners, armed guards, and security systems that make Fort Knox look like a corner shop. But William? He doesn't panic. Because while everyone else is running around like headless chickens, he's already putting the pieces together. See, 3 weeks earlier, his grandmother had pulled him aside during Sunday lunch at Windsor Castle. "William," she'd said, her eyes twinkling with that mischievous look he knew so well, "there are things about this family that would surprise even you. Promise me something. If anything ever happens to my will, you'll be the one to find it. Not Charles, not anyone else. You." At the time, he'd thought it was just one of Gran's little eccentricities. The woman had hidden birthday presents in the most ridiculous places for decades. But now he realizes she was deadly serious. The investigation officially begins, and it's a disaster. Scotland Yard brings in their best detectives. MI5 gets involved. They interview every guard, every cleaner, every person who'd been within a mile of the tower in the past month. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. The media catches wind of the story, and suddenly it's chaos. Headlines scream about royal conspiracies, foreign interference, and family feuds. Social media explodes with theories, everything from Russian spies to Princess Anne staging an elaborate heist because she was tired of being overlooked in the succession line. But William knows better. This isn't some external threat. This is personal. This is family. So while the official investigation flounders, William goes rogue. He starts where any good detective would, with motive. Who had the most to gain or lose from the will's contents remaining secret? His first stop? Uncle Andrew. Now Andrew's been persona non grata for years, but William knows his uncle is desperate to rebuild his reputation. Maybe desperate enough to make a will disappear if it contains something damaging? The confrontation happens at Royal Lodge. Andrew's nervous, sweating, making jokes that fall flat. But after an hour of questioning, William realizes his uncle is many things: arrogant, entitled, tone-deaf, but he's not a master criminal. The man can't even operate his own iPhone without help. Next up, Princess Anne. If anyone in the family had the skills to pull off a heist, it would be her. The woman's a former Olympian, tougher than leather, and smart enough to outmaneuver anyone. But when William shows up at Gatcombe Park unannounced, Anne takes one look at him and starts laughing. "Oh, William, you beautiful fool. You think I stole Gran's will? Why on earth would I need to steal something I helped her write?" Plot twist number 1. Anne was one of the Queen's confidantes in drafting the will. She knows exactly what's in it, and she's not worried about the reading at all. "But," Anne says, her expression turning serious, "you might want to ask yourself this. Who in our family has been asking a lot of questions about inheritance laws lately? Who's been unusually interested in Gran's private papers?" The answer hits William like a sledgehammer. His own father. Now this is where the story gets really wild, because William realizes that King Charles, the man who's already got the crown, the palaces, the whole royal package, is terrified of what his mother's will might reveal. Think about it. Charles waited 70 years to become king. He endured decades of public scrutiny, personal scandals, and constant comparisons to his beloved mother. What if the Queen's final act was to expose family secrets he'd spent his entire life trying to bury? But here's the thing about William. He's not just hunting for a missing document anymore. He's starting to understand that his grandmother orchestrated this whole thing. The convenient timing, the cryptic conversation, the way she specifically chose him to solve the mystery. This isn't a theft. This is a treasure hunt. So William starts thinking like the Queen. Where would a woman known for her mischievous sense of humor and love of puzzles hide the most important document in royal history? The answer comes to him at 3 a.m. while he's staring at the ceiling, Catherine sleeping peacefully beside him. He remembers a story his grandmother used to tell about World War II, when the royal family stayed at Windsor Castle during the Blitz. She'd hidden her most precious possessions, not the official treasures, but her personal mementos, in a secret compartment behind a false wall in the library. But not just any library. The Queen's private study at Buckingham Palace, a room that's been off limits to everyone except her closest staff since her death. Getting into the palace at 4 a.m. isn't exactly a casual undertaking, even if you're second in line to the throne. But William has an advantage. He knows the building like the back of his hand, and more importantly, he knows which security guards were his grandmother's favorites. 20 minutes later, he's standing in the Queen's study, surrounded by a lifetime of memories. Photos of state visits, handwritten letters from world leaders, first editions of books signed by their authors. And there, behind a seemingly innocuous bookshelf containing her complete collection of Dick Francis novels, is exactly what he expected to find. The false wall opens with a gentle push, revealing a small cavity. Inside, a leather portfolio embossed with the royal coat of arms. William's hands are shaking as he opens it, because whatever's inside isn't just going to affect the royal family, it's going to change everything. The first document is the will itself, but it's not the version everyone was expecting. This is the Queen's true final will, dated just 2 weeks before her death, and the contents? Absolutely explosive. The Queen hasn't just redistributed her personal wealth, she's fundamentally restructured how the monarchy will operate for the next century. She's established a massive charitable foundation, funded by the sale of several lesser-known royal properties. She's created educational trusts for every great-grandchild, regardless of their position in the line of succession. But the real bombshell? She's included a clause that requires every future monarch to spend at least 5 years working in public service, not royal duties but actual jobs alongside ordinary citizens, before they can ascend to the throne. Charles is going to hate this. The establishment is going to hate this. But the British people? They're going to love it. But that's not even the biggest revelation. Because underneath the will, there's something else. A letter, written in the Queen's distinctive handwriting, addressed simply to, "My dear William." And this is where everything changes. In the letter, the Queen reveals that she's known for months about Charles's plan to make the will disappear. She knew he was terrified that her final wishes would undermine his authority as the new king. So she orchestrated the entire theft to ensure that William, the one family member she trusted completely to do the right thing, would be the one to find and reveal the truth. But there's more. The Queen confesses to something that will rewrite royal history books. During the constitutional crisis of the 1990s, the annus horribilis that nearly brought down the monarchy, she'd made a secret agreement with the government. If public support for the royal family ever dropped below a certain threshold again, the crown would voluntarily transition to a more democratic model, with the monarch serving as a ceremonial figurehead, while elected officials handled state functions. That threshold? It's been crossed. The polls taken after the Queen's death show royal approval ratings at historic lows. According to the secret agreement, Charles should be preparing to fundamentally transform the monarchy, but he doesn't know about the agreement. Only the Queen knew, and now, only William knows. The final paragraph of the letter is the most explosive of all. "William, my darling boy, I leave this choice to you. You can present the will as written, reveal the truth about our agreement with the government, and help guide the monarchy into a new age of relevance and service. Or you can allow your father to continue as he wishes, knowing that the institution we've all served will likely not survive another generation. I trust you to choose wisely, as I know you always have." William sits in his grandmother's chair, surrounded by the weight of history, holding documents that could end the British monarchy as the world knows it. The clock on the wall shows 5:30 a.m. In less than 48 hours, the entire royal family will gather for the will reading that will determine the future of the crown. And William, he finally understands that his grandmother's greatest gift wasn't the inheritance she left behind. It was the choice she gave him to save the monarchy by completely transforming it. The question is, what will he choose? Because here's the thing about power, the most dangerous moment isn't when you don't have it. It's when you do, and you have to decide what to do with it. And Prince William? He's about to make a decision that will echo through history. But that's a story for another day.